Hey guys, Levergun Bum, welcome to the channel. If you're new here, if you're returning, thank you so much for coming back. Today I'm going to talk about gloves, since gloves are so popular here with my regular 100 viewers. Thank you so much. I have found myself in need of using gloves quite a bit recently, working down in southern Arizona, especially working barbed wire. The situation and requirement for tough gloves really bumped up a couple notches from the work I'm usually doing, which is up in the mountains, cutting wood, bucking, stacking, hardwoods, etc. Today, I'm going to be reviewing the leather M-Pact driver C4-360. C4-360. For some comparative purposes, I'm including today a look at the Utility Pro, the leather M-Pact resistant gloves. And in the picture you're seeing right now to the far right, I'm going to be talking a little bit about the gloves we're probably all used to. If you've ever been to Conservation Day, if you've ever been working for the Federal Land Management Agency on a fire detail and they give you the gloves, the issue gloves, those white leather gloves, for those of you that are not from the United States, those are like the de facto leather gloves in use in the United States if you don't buy your own. Okay guys, deep dive into the evolution of glove for ranch and farm use. My personal opinion, my experience, everything you're seeing here purchased by myself. I'm not sponsored or anything like that. So this past fall, working on building fence, mending fence, using barbed wire, needed a leather glove that was above and beyond probably what those of you in the United States will recognize. These gloves must have a name, but these are like the generic leather working glove of the United States. If you go into any kind of government work, land management work, fire work, conservation work, landscaping work, someone's going to hand you a pair of these leather gloves. These white leather gloves, do these things have a name? They do. These are like real deal federal contracting gloves. Safety Equipment Institute gloves. Oh, this is a Wildland firefighting glove. Well, these things are all over the place. And these gloves will protect your hand from flame, exposure to flame and heat, and sharp objects like barbed wire. But these gloves are so clumsy and lack dexterity. Probably like most of you, these things wind up in the bottom of a drawer somewhere. But I was forced to use these earlier because my go-to gloves that I'll show you momentarily couldn't hack it out here in the wilds of Arizona. If you can get away from these gloves, if these are things that you're using or something like them, recommended. So next up, I found on the Mechanix website these double packs of what they call Utility Pro gloves. They've got, well, let me show you an old pair here. They've got a leather palm. Hope you guys can see this. They've got padding on them. The key criterion that keeps me coming back to Mechanix gloves is the dexterity. I love the fact that these gloves really fit tightly so you can get your fingers in and manipulate things if you have to. Tools, screws, bolts, etc. These gloves were put into service something like October of last year, maybe November, I'm not sure. I think they're about 3 months into use here, and I've shredded them. Now, a lot of this has been due to setting up hot wire, electric wire for livestock. As that nylon line with a steel filament inside, you guys who handle electric wire or hot wire know, just shredded these gloves. So I had to ditch these things. I don't know what I paid. I'll put it up on the screen later, but they were a deal, so I picked up a pack. And I'd say for light gardening around the house and so forth, the Utility Pros are not a bad deal, but they're not heavy duty. In my vehicle kit, I kept a pair of these M-Pact leather palm gloves. They've got the padding in them, but I just kind of stash them there and keep them in one of my trucks, kind of in case of emergency if I got to change a tire or something. Those of you out here in the desert Southwest know if you have to touch any metal, when the sun's out, you're going to get burned. It's freaking blazing hot around here. I'm in March right now. We're in triple digits. Like most of the Mechanix gloves, these gloves are super dexterous. They really fit well. I don't have any space or needless floppiness in them. I really like how they fit tightly. So these are a nice glove, but I wanted to get another glove even heavier duty because barbed wire, for those of you who work with barbed wire, you probably know barbed wire is pretty rough stuff. So I have upgraded today the leather M-Pact driver C4-360. And here's what we've got here. Okay guys, up close and personal with a leather M-Pact driver C4-360. These are going to retail anywhere from about 35 bucks to 50 bucks, somewhere in there. These gloves feature a stretch elastic cuff. Understand that there is no Velcro wrist restraint there. That's just a elastic cuff. Thermoplastic TPR impact protection along the digits and the back of the hand, something Mechanix is famous for. ANSI A4 blade cut resistance. It's got Durahide performance leather, lined high tensile strength material, certified by the ANSI, that's the American National Standards Institute. And just FYI, these gloves are not touchscreen compatible, so no working the smartphone when you're out there in the field or goofing off playing games or whatever. When you see these things up close here, they just come across as very high quality. I'll tell you what really jumps out is that high tensile strength insert. It's very reminiscent of when you have these gloves on, it feels like you've got a Gore-Tex membrane in there. That's exactly what it feels like. It feels a little ballistic to me. Feels like a Spectra material like you might have on a ballistic vest. You can see the little tassel here for running your 550 cord through when you want to hook these onto a carabiner, which I'm certainly going to do. I guess wearing these right now, these have not been employed by me, not yet into the field. Biggest issue I have is they feel warm. And being in Arizona right now with the triple digits that we have, it's only March here. This is a hot glove, but I don't really care because for running hot wire, electric wire, and working barbed wire, these feel like they'd be pretty solid. Okay guys, and since I'm running kind of a trifecta here, I wanted to throw in the Utility Pro gloves. These are a very lightweight glove that I picked up for the contract that I'm working, thinking they'd be adequate for doing barbed wire. They are not adequate for doing barbed wire. They are, however, cheap. I think I got these, I don't want to misquote, but let me tell you that I've documented them online anywhere from about 20 bucks to 40 bucks for the 2-pack. Do not pay 40 bucks for these things. Try to get them for 20 bucks or maybe less somewhere. Mechanix advertises them as having a breathable material makeup. They've got the TPR protection, wrist closure, and knuckle guard. That is a thermoplastic rubber, and you can see that on the gloves that I'm wearing here. Here's your TPR, here's your TPR, thermoplastic, but a very lightweight version in comparison to what I've shown already today, so just be advised. They've got a durability grip. They've got a sweat wipe on the back because they're a soft material. They've got high abrasion resistance, which is true, and they are touchscreen capable, which is pretty cool. So you can play your video games sort of with these gloves on. These things got shredded. It's no joke. So I got to bump up here because these are not cutting it on an Arizona ranch. Guys, just because I've got them, and by way of comparison, this is sort of like the little brother or the lighter weight cousin of the C4-360. These are the leather M-Pact resistant gloves. These apparently MSRP anywhere from about 40 bucks to 55 bucks, a little more expensive. Not sure why that is because this is a lighter weight glove. But again, they've got the flexible TPR closure. They advertise themselves as being EN388 impact standard or meeting the EN388 impact standard. For wrist and fingers, you've got some light padding in the palm, leather interior there, that TPR rubberized digits in the back of a hand. They've got pinch point fingertip protection, and all I can tell you is, in my experience wearing those gloves, is they're tight in the fingertips. They've got the Durahide leather thumb reinforcement. They are machine washable, and they are also not touch screen capable. So no playing your favorite games on the job if you're wearing these on your phone, okay? I just thought I'd throw these in the mix because they're very similar to the 360s. Definitely lighter weight, feels a little cooler on the hand, but super dexterity. Just love Mechanix wear for that. Not a lot of room. Actually, there's room. Let me pull these up a little bit. Generally tight on the fingertips. I do have some spare room in my pinky, but the ring finger, middle finger, index finger, and thumb are in great shape. And I love Mechanix wear gloves for these reasons. And of course, that added protection. But these are not the gloves that I want to use for mending fence, putting up fence, barbed wire, or running electric fence. Because that nylon, steel reinforced electric fence just will run through these. I know it will. So I just got done hooking up this hose. My gloves got stuck in here, kind of pulled on this a little bit, and I turn around and look at this thing. Just tore just like that. Can see that membrane underneath. That's a little sad. Can't believe that just tore like that, just touching on this. Wow. Just wow. One thing I'm noticing about these gloves, you really gotta pull them on tight because without that wrist cinch to cinch these things down, they're a little loose for my preferences. Okay guys, what did these gloves and these Utility Pro gloves is exactly this, running out hot wire on ranges just like this. As I assist this wire in its deployment, it went right through the spots where I hold it, which is right here on my middle finger and right here on my thumb. You may be able to see that wire is biting into my thumb right now, leaving a white mark. This is a synthetic, I believe a nylon cord with a steel core that takes the electrical current through it and provides us with cattle impoundment. These gloves have just gotten destroyed for the effort. So I'm going to bump up to the C4-360s and see how they do. So it's been my hope that with the acquisition of these higher dollar Mechanix wear gloves with the high tensile sleeve that you can see here that got exposed the other day, unbelievably. I had these on for less than 1 minute and they already got shredded. My guess is they're going to do a lot better handling this hot wire, laying this stuff out, be a lot more resistance to getting shredded, but we'll see. Okay guys, final thoughts on the gloves I've been working with the last few days and really last few months and in some cases years. This evaluation field review started off with the American white leather Wildland firefighting gloves. Pros, they're super tough. They protect your hands. They're good against sharp objects like barbed wire, good against wildfire. That's what they're manufactured for. They've got this tassel on the back. You can pull them tight around the wrist. Negatives, they're bulky as hell. Total lack of dexterity. Finger space here is out of control. Wildland firefighter turn these gloves inside out so that this interior seam isn't rubbing on your hands. It's very uncomfortable. These are what you get when you don't own your own gloves. If you have the ability to buy your own gloves, I would recommend not buying these. They accomplish the job, but not well. Working with these led to needing a more dexterous glove. So I wound up picking up a set of these Utility Pro gloves. I really love these things. They're ultra lightweight, ultra comfortable. At the end of the day though, when dealing with barbed wire, sharp objects and a lot of ranch work, they just get torn to shreds. I've had these open and in use since at least December of 2025. About 3.5 months, and they're just destroyed. But they're a great glove. They're also touch sensitive, so you can use them with smartphones and so forth. So it might be something you want to look for. People handling cardboard, carton, great gloves. Light work, great gloves. Around the house, great gloves. Heavy duty ranch work, maybe not so much, but I'll continue to use them. The M-Pact C4-360s, which is really the point of this video. Some pros and cons with these gloves. Heavy duty, heavy protection. There's an internal membrane that almost has a ballistic fiber-like consistency, so I think these would offer very good protection against slashing and cuts, sharp edges, knives, cutting instruments. TPR, rubber protection is incredible. It's thick, it's heavy duty. You could almost use these for boxing. On the downside, they're pretty hot for hot weather. This is late March now, Arizona. We're in the 90s or triple digits already, and these gloves are running a bit hot. These might almost be a winter glove. They tore extraordinarily easily. I'm very disappointed about that. This leather along the digits and palm seems to be paper thin. A little disappointed there. They got the tassels so you can run your 550 cord, clip them onto your belt, your carabiner, and they seem to be highly water resistant or maybe even waterproof. So pretty impressive. These are in the kit now. They'll go in the rotation. Are they worth 50 bucks? I don't think so. If you get them for less, if you get them on sale, might be something you want to look into. Finally, I've got the M-Pact leather resistance glove. These are kind of like the junior partner of the C4-360, sort of a lighter weight version. With the hot weather down here, this would be very tempting for summer use. Problem being, this internal palm has a pretty light leather on it, meaning lightweight, and I think I just shred these on some of the work I'm doing in a place like this. Palm padding is really good, however. Love the wrist closure right here. I can really get these tight how I like them. Big problem I failed to mention on these C4-360s. I don't like this elastic cinch, just doesn't feel secure. I'm coming from a background though, a lot of years of tactical glove use, and on the channel when I'm doing my Levergun reviews, I'm always running tack gloves, old tack gloves, cut off tack gloves. Really like the ability to cinch these down. But otherwise, these are a really decent glove. As I made mention, I keep these in a truck repair kit for use in a vehicle emergency, and they're perfectly up to doing that. They've got the TPR, pretty heavy duty again along the fingers and the back of the hand. So these are a great option. I just don't think they're up to the rigors of ranch use. They're a little bit lightweight for that. No touch sensitivity for the phones, no waterproofness or water resistance, but overall a good glove. Okay guys, I hope you found this video useful. If you did, please consider liking, maybe even subscribing. And if you didn't, have a great day. Stay safe and take care everybody.